Enjoyed 2 years of supremacy. Can anyone burst their bubble this time? Having won back-to-back titles, they now eye up a three-peat. The case for the defence strengthened by the acquisition of the world's hottest young striker. A new season, but more than an air of familiarity about most of the personnel. Although David Moyes has an injury crisis at centre-half as he aims to beat Pep Guardiola for the first time in the league. Lucas Fabianski saved a penalty in this fixture last season. Craig Dawson has a thigh injury, and with Naya Fagued and Angelo Ogbonna also sidelined, Ben Johnson plays in the heart of the defence. Declan Rice partners Thomas Souček, who makes his 100th start for the Hammers. Last season's top scorer Jared Bowen will start off the right. New signing Maxwell Cornet in the building, but not in the 20. And Michail Antonio leads the line, with another summer arrival Jean-Luc Scamacca on the bench. Midfielder Flynn Downs also hopes for his debut after his move from Swansea. Pep Guardiola has named 9 of the Manchester City side that started the Community Shield. Edison kept 20 clean sheets in the Premier League last season. Nobody had more. And it's the same back four in front of him. Nathan Ake partners Ruben Dias with John Stones on the bench and Emerick Laporte injured. It's Rodri's 150th game for City. İlkay Gündoğan, whose goal sealed the title, captains the team. And there's a Premier League debut for Erling Haaland, with Phil Foden starting against West Ham for the first time in his career. Summer acquisitions, Calvin Phillips and Stefan Ortega are on the bench. Julian Alvarez made his debut in the Community Shield, and there's a first appearance in the 20 for 17-year-old fullback Rico Lewis. A new season does nothing to dilute the importance of the fundamental message that there is no room for racism. A hat-trick of English League titles has only ever been achieved 5 times. Manchester City's pursuit of a piece of footballing immortality starts here. It's already been an opening weekend where we have not necessarily seen what we were expecting to see, Andy.
No, not at all. Chelsea made to work hard at Goodison, weren't they? Fulham, terrific in their opening game against Liverpool. Really good point that was for them. Yeah, look, it's always been the case that if you're going to face one of the top teams, maybe the best time to do it is right at the start of a season. So we'll see whether West Ham can capitalise on that or not. We'll see how slow City are out of the blocks, but it's a tough test for them coming here today. It's not an easy game, this one at the London Stadium. It really isn't. We've got a very hot day as well, Jim, so keeping that ball will be paramount today. You want to keep it, make your opposition work as hard as you can.
It's hardly the type of fixture that will just ease you in gently. Time to harvest the fruits of the weeks of preparation. Square balls across the edge of the penalty area weren't necessarily in Pep Guardiola's training plans. Antonio tried to get across the near post. West Ham have a corner inside the opening 90 seconds.
Certainly doing that. Was a risky ball from João Cancelo. Going square. If a square ball gets cut out, just puts everybody out of the game. That's why everyone holds their breath normally when people try and do that, go from one side of the field to the other. That wasn't his best decision he's ever made.
Everybody, Mark Foden back inside the penalty area is a vicious in-swinging delivery. Back into the fray from Zuma, and it breaks for Bowen, whose effort is blocked. Good start this for West Ham United. Early pressure, Antonio's flying header over the bar.
Great start.
Manchester City grateful to get those opening 2 minutes out of the way.
Really positive stuff this from the home team. That corner, you're right, Jim. That teased under that bar, that was very difficult to deny it. Bowen shot his blocks really well there. Watch the City back line get out, squeezing out to the penalty spot. And then it's that little twisting header there from Michail Antonio. He just can't keep that back under the bar, but lovely start, positive start from the home team, and that's always very important, I think.
Here's Grealish. Come into the sanctuary of central midfield to mean that he's out of earshot of his manager, I think, who's been talking him through the game, let's say, in these early stages. Cancelo away from Bowen. Kevin De Bruyne taking a touch, firing it wide.
Good football, nice run that from João Cancelo, far too much room. That is for Kevin De Bruyne, that's a let-off. For him, that's a really good chance. Lovely run, the fullback. Once De Bruyne picks that up there, someone's got to get out quicker, because he had a scruffy kind of first touch. It's difficult finding the right balance against City, Jim. It really is, because they're so good in possession. You don't want to start all charging around because they can pick you off. You don't want to be too high with someone like Haaland. He's too dangerous for the spacing behind either.
Increasingly influential, and Haaland on the stretch. Couldn't steer it inside that far post. Wow.
Great little ball from Phil Foden. Was he really stretching, or could perhaps he have done a little better with that? Brilliant play again once more, just watching around the penalty spot. Just wonder if he could have made a fraction more contact with that. See it better from this angle. Maybe not. Maybe that's just a fraction too big.
Bounce of the ball wasn't great. Haaland is able to turn here. Grealish couldn't get himself into a shooting position before Fabianski was back between the posts. De Bruyne for Gundogan. Rodri for Walker. It's all Manchester City at the moment. De Bruyne curling it in. Fabianski out at some personal cost by the look of it. Hefty collision inside that 6-yard box, and Michael Oliver forced to stop play.
Another tease in delivery this time from Kevin De Bruyne out on this left side. Haaland is who's going for it. The goalkeeper knows he's having to leap to come out of that. He's going to get clattered.
Decisive touch, the flag up immediately from assistant referee Simon Bennett.
Yeah, it looked like Gundogan had just strayed offside. Yeah, you can see that. Lovely finish from De Bruyne, no doubt about that.
Substitution for West Ham United.
They weren't careful, and Lucas Fabianski after that collision clearly still not right.
He's going to have to make way. Saved a penalty in this fixture last season, lasting less than half an hour this time around, and he'll be replaced by the French international Alphonse Areola, who made one Premier League appearance for West Ham, which was at Old Trafford. Heavily involved, though, in the cup runs, both at home and abroad. Areola coming on for Fabianski. Antonio just given a few instructions from David Moyes.
Please welcome number 13, Alphonse Areola.
Their fair share of injuries already, West Ham United. As Haaland attacks this one, and he's gone past Areola. Easy decision for Michael Oliver.
Yeah, looked like it, didn't it? How quick was he getting onto that as well there, Erling Haaland? Really razor sharp in that decisive little through ball. Lovely little roll from Gundogan, better pace on that. Yeah, penalty. Yeah. Areola comes flying out. Great touch. It was actually a brilliant touch as well, because had Areola not have clattered into him, he would have knocked that into an empty net.
That's an exquisite back heel from Foden, pulled back by De Bruyne, but nobody attacking the edge of the penalty areas. He had anticipated. It's working forward towards Antonio. No free kick from this time. Dealt with by Rodri. Wheel for Cancelo. Cancelo trying his luck. So half-time, and Manchester City impressive. Erling Haaland has already opened his account. Just about a perfect 45 minutes as far as Pep Guardiola is concerned. West Ham substitute goalkeeper Alphonse Areola catching Erling Haaland on his way through. Couldn't do anything about the penalty that was dispatched past him. And Manchester City, in every department, have been superior. Half-time, West Ham 0, Manchester City 1.
They need to lift the ground, the fans in the ground, Jim. Everything's got to happen for West Ham in the second 45. They continue in that fashion, then this is going to be a very straightforward and comfortable 3 points for City.
City picking up where they left off, not just last season, but from that first half. Haaland back in towards Grealish, and Rice had tracked his run and did enough. Slightly unorthodox defending, but effective. Grealish will make an impact inside that penalty area, but when the ball is driven forward, it goes straight back off the heels of Souček. Manchester City have it back again.
It's better from Jack Grealish, that run with the ball at his feet there. He's doing 1-2 with Haaland and getting to the byline. That's what he's got to get. Get there a lot more. He does have a tendency to pick the ball up and just always looking to drift inside on his right foot. Mix his game up a little bit. He's quick enough and powerful enough to get to the byline. He's got quality when he gets there, so he's got to demand a little bit more from himself.
West Ham did score in every home game that they played last season. Remember, they were 2-0 up at half-time when these two sides met back in May. Last failure to find the net in the league here against Everton back in May 2021. Too many signs of a goal so far this afternoon. Foden. Some feet of Foden. Going into action again. And a third time. De Bruyne flipping it in, but it's a good effect.
Again, so much time, and it's so easy for City. It really is like a training ground session, this.
Easy possession for Nathan Ake. The applause you hear at the emergence of Gianluca Scamacca. The best part of 40 minutes. Now given away carelessly by Manchester City's Ilkay Gundogan. Mancini playing it in. Hammers hoping to make the most of the gift. Antonio working it wide. It's Rice, and it's over. Rare-sided goal, but the gift hasn't been accepted.
That is why one is never enough. That's the first sloppy pass that we've seen, probably from a City player all afternoon. West Ham could quite easily there have got themselves back in the game. Declan Rice's shot in the end is skied, and look, he knows it. He knows he's lucky.
Antonio will come off, but there's more than one new marksman in town. West Ham spent more than £35 million on Gianluca Scamacca. It's impressive form for unfashionable Sassuolo led to international recognition and wider admiration. Only one Italian scored more goals in Serie A last season. It's a striker who's got close-range poaching abilities. balls which are played. Beautifully done. Foden, De Bruyne, Haaland chasing, and it's eventually wide. Ilkay Gundogan, the man coming in at the far post.
Great football. Lovely play, that big switch out to Phil Foden, right to the path of De Bruyne. He knows that the centre forward wants that as early and as fast as he can deliver it. It's so close to sliding in on the end of that, as it was Gundogan. The touch just in behind Haaland, but love that. There's a real menace about City when they pick the pace up in that last third.
For Socek. West Ham on the front foot. Bowen couldn't reach it. Benrahma! Rare piece of work for Edison, but better from West Ham.
Yeah, better from the home team. More than 10, I think. Sensing now there's just a little bit more urgency about their play. Consider for all City's dominance, level pegging in terms of shots on target.
From Benrahma, the first the Bahamas have had. But here's Haaland, he's in again, scores again. That's what he's all about. That's why he's got the big reputation. Another side of goal, another goal. Haaland on the double, and City lead 2-0.
Stunning, yeah. Dad quite rightly applauds that one. That's the kind of goal I've seen him score so often in Germany. So there you have it. West Ham are now pushing and they're further up the field, and there's an obvious danger then when the ball gets turned over and De Bruyne is in this sort of space. Watch him put his head down and go. Not holding back at all. He just sprints and flies away from everybody, and then he has that, just that composure, a bit of calm that's required to finish. But it kind of frightens you when he puts his head down and really motors. He's scary. He's a scary proposition, this guy. He is so fast across the ground, and that's a beautiful finish.
Get used to seeing that. Striking Viking at the double. Turns to his dad in the crowd. Haaland family delighted with what they've seen. They've seen it so many times, but you never get tired of witnessing the celebration, the ease with which he puts those chances away.
Haaland's got the lot, hasn't he? You can see already physically he's going to be a real handful. But his pace and his determination, and I love that he senses when it's right for him to really go and to really run. For both the goals today, he's done exactly that.
Oh, lovely turn by Gundogan. Haaland waiting in the middle again. Hoisted high, but not quite to him. Zuma gets it away. Back in from Grealish. Very sharp chance for Haaland at the near post. Maybe well to even get to it.
Yeah, actually got a little bit too much on that, didn't he? Lovely play initially from Gundogan, wasn't it? And then Grealish, when he gets here, dips to the touchline.
Ilkay Gundogan, the first player to come off, and Bernardo Silva, who started in the Community Shield but not today, is the man that will come on to replace him. He's been linked with a move away from City in recent weeks. And the other change sees Julian Alvarez come on to replace Erling Haaland. Some Premier League debut. Great contribution that led to the penalty that he dispatched with aplomb. And one concrete chance in the second half that he put away. And with that, a legend is born. Feel about opening day this time around 12 months ago for Manchester City.
unless something miraculous happens here, this is going to be a really tough grueling last 10 minutes plus whatever the referee decides to add on. City are just enjoying themselves right now. They're just rolling it around. They're taking pot shots from 20 plus yards, no problem. Looks like West Ham's race is run, unless they can find something from somewhere.
It's been a stroll in the sunshine for Manchester City, but it has certainly been comprehensive. Foden sends it wide again. Grealish. Nicely weighted. Alvarez waiting at the near post, and City will have a corner. They'll make the double change prior to it. So last season's leading scorer about to come on. Foden makes way. And so too Kevin De Bruyne. So Mahrez, who had a penalty saved here last season, about to come on. Replace Phil Foden, who missed one in the League Cup shootout, which was decisive. De Bruyne replaced by Cole Palmer, who has made 4 previous Premier League appearances, the last of them coming back in December. And a debut as well for Calvin Phillips. Skamaka tried to get into the middle, hoping for a cross, but none was forthcoming. Bowen not in a position to deliver.
No, great run from João Cancelo covering. Just a chance, a glimmer there, wasn't there, for West Ham to maybe create a situation. Great defending.
3 added minutes. Twisting, turning, Alvarez, who's knocked Zuma off his feet. Is a corner.
Tell, as soon as he picked that up there, Julian Alvarez, he just wanted to get that onto his right foot and get a shot away. Watch, I think he's going to go out wide, and he sees that gap and he thinks, no, I'm going to drive straight in there and hit that. He thumps it, unfortunately straight in Kurt Zuma's face.
Grealish. That's an emphatic first argument in the case for the defence. Manchester City eyeing up a hat-trick of Premier League titles. And they've got off to the perfect start. A debut double for City's Erling Haaland, who looks as though the Premier League will be exactly the kind of finishing school that he will excel in. Pep thinks that City are habitually slow starters, so that is an ominous start for all of their fellow title rivals. West Ham United 0, Manchester City 2.